person came over during the polar apocalypse. We talked about hieroglyphics a lot, and that really resonated with me. And from our point of view, you know, we think hieroglyphics probably has this big meaning and all these things, but we don't know. You know, we really, you know, maybe if you're a scholar at Yale, it's, you know, dedicated your whole life to it, maybe you know, but we don't know. And to me, that's kind of the adventure of it, is just trying to like go through it and try to see what works. There is no grand plan or grand footprint or anything that I get from it.
But yeah, I mean, in a way, it's kind of like this combination of energy and expression that's sort of derived into these hieroglyphics of language. And you're also trying to figure it out kind of at the same time as you're making it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's part of what's kind of exciting about it, is that it's like a little, it's frenetic, and it's a little bit like unclear or unresolved, or like you make a mark and you're like, yes, like I'm leaving that there, even though I don't 100% know why. But like, I think that that's, I don't know, it just like goes really well with kind of your, like you're working from this response of just sort of like, I have to work, and I'm gonna, you know, it's like it's not something that you've set up in a way where you're building up to this really clear idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're really just sustaining this practice, and it's influenced by everything else that's going on in your life. And I think that is evident in
Well, the
this
trend
show.
keeps rolling, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, and
Which is so funny with all of this, you know, like, da-da-da-da-da. Especially at night, because you can hear all the people like, yelling on the platform. It's really awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
Oh, well, no, I mean, I guess that's just my impression of it. Boiling it out into this discussion and how and our
Okay.
relationship will work.
Alright, so I think,
Did you figure out your second question?
yeah, I did.
Alright, good.
So, you know, with the exclusion of these like black and white paintings, right? I'm sort of curious about like where your sort of palette comes from, right? You use a lot of really intense saturated colors, and a lot of things that like we as artists are taught not to do in color theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like juxtaposing two very vibrant color, you know, like on this one from my angle, this like bottom sculptural piece, right? You have orange and blue like smacked right up against each other, right? And like your eyes, you know, not only are your pieces intense in like the amount of like visual language that comes off of them, and the amount of like pictorial individual pictures within a single plane, but you also have these sort of conflicting color schemes, right, that sort of fight with each other and try and push your eyes apart or push you away from this part of a painting to another. I'm sort of wondering just like where your super saturated color tones and palettes sort of derives from.
Kind of did that because they told me I couldn't do it, and I wasn't supposed to do it.
There's your big middle finger, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm terrible at mixing color.
Yeah.
So, and I've never been good at it. Like, I would wash out at every class that I ever took in it. A lot of it comes from the comic books and cartoons that I've watched as a kid and just trying to do my own thing as a kid. But also, you know, my parents were always really back and forth, and especially my father. My father was bipolar, so he was either one way or another way. So there was always these two extremes in our house, and for some reason that just always kind of gravitated to me. I'll be the guy. I used to drive my friends nuts because I would play this like really loud, abrasive song and then follow it up with a folk song. Like it used to really drive them nuts because I would play this one Nirvana song and then follow it up with like a Grateful Dead mandolin song, right? It would just drive them nuts. But that's just who I am, and it's just kind of, that's how it's always worked. And just, it's also keeping it simple, you know?
Yeah.
Here's your baseball moment right there. It's like, you know, here's your, here's your logos, you know? Those simple, iconic, sort of like Americana logos probably have a lot to do with that too.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think you make it work, you know. There's a lot of people who try and throw all these things together and
Practice.
your eye fights you and hates you for it, you know, and like you immediately walk away from something. But you know, as aggressive as each of these are individually, I definitely think they hold your attention. And
Thank you.
yeah,
Cool. All right, I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thanks, y'all. All right, I'm sure you do.